Dude, there's like a goddamn Joanne's bag in the background. Hi! What the fuck was that? Hi, it's Arcana Martyr. Today, I'm gonna be doing a storytime video. I am in a fantastic mood today. Nothing special happened. I'm just in a really good mood, which is unusual. Usually, for me to be in like a decent mood, something good has happened, but nothing good happened today. I didn't have a bad day, but like, it wasn't that great of a day either, you know? Like, I just went to work. Like, that's all that fucking happened today. But I'm also just in a very good mood today, and last night, when I was trying to go to sleep, which wasn't even last night, it was like at fucking 8 in the morning, I thought of a story to tell you guys. That's usually when it happens. I usually think of these like spur of the moment, or it's like right when I'm going to bed. I thought of this, and it's one of those things that is so embarrassing. Like, it's probably more embarrassing than the time I called my boss Mr. Krabs. Wait, I didn't tell you guys about that. But anyway, it's pretty embarrassing. And this story, actually, I'm pretty sure I've never ever told anyone. I've never even told Savvy. I've never told my best friends about this. It's not because I was hiding it or anything. It's just never come up in a conversation. Like, I've never had to bring this up. So literally the only people that know about this are the people that were there to witness it. But I've never really talked about this before just because I've never had a reason to. As the title, probably wondering what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna get right to the point. And this might be a long story time, so sit back, get some snacks, get a drink. It's gonna be a roller coaster ride start to finish because I'm already like kind of silently panicking over how terrible this is. It's funny because I had to get a drink myself just to loosen the fuck up because I'm like, this is something else. Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you the fandom that I was in because this was my very first fandom. I'm actually not sure if this is my very first. I don't remember what came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't remember if it was this fandom or Naruto, but they both happened around the same time, but I'm pretty sure this one was first. If Naruto was first, my bad, but I'm pretty sure it was this one that was first because this started into 2005. So I was in 5th grade and the Gorillaz just released their newest album at the time, which was Demon Days, and my brother got it on CD. I became so fucking obsessed with this album. And like, I was more obsessed with this album than I was with the Green Day American Idiot album that came out the year before. I was really obsessed with this album. Doing a little research on the limited time of internet that I had, I ended up finding out that Gorillaz was indeed a virtual band, and I ended up immediately falling in love with the characters, like fucking literally. Oh my god, it's getting hot in here. Gonna fast forward to this present moment. I still love the Gorillaz, but to the extent that I held it in 2005, little 10-year-old me, I don't think will ever amount to what I feel about the Gorillaz now. I casually like the Gorillaz now, you know? Like, and they're nice to listen to after it's been a while, but back then, oh my god. So this album came out and I really loved it. I found out the band was virtual by doing research online, like I said, and I immediately fell in love with the characters, and I ran into this website called gorillas.it, like IT. It was an unofficial website, and it was actually like a webcomic that some girl was writing, and it had like herself insert OC named Fade in it, and at the time, that was the shit for me. Like, I loved this girl's comic. To me, I didn't really understand a lot of it at the time because I was like 11, like barely. I think I was only like 10 actually when I ran into this comic the first time. I didn't like understand a lot of it because it was really adult themed. I don't know, I just really liked it because I was like just getting into the Gorillaz, and I thought it was really cool that like she was writing the characters, and like I think her character was shipped with Murdoch, which is like the bassist of the band. I'll put a picture so you know who I'm talking about. Me, on the other hand, I ended up getting a crush on 2D, which is like the number and then the letter D, like two-dimensional. I ended up having a crush on him, and he's the lead singer of the band. I had a crush on him, like really hardcore. Honestly, it was pretty innocent. Fast forward maybe, I think I was entering 6th grade when this happened. I found out from a friend that lived down the street from me. I'm just gonna call her Michaela. I found out from Michaela that there was another girl that lived on the opposite side of the street because we were like in a little U-shaped. Michaela was on this side and this other girl was on this side, and I was like at the bottom of the U. Found out from Michaela that there was another girl that lived up the street from me who was only like a year above us, and she happened to be obsessed with the gorillas too. And I thought that was like literally fucking crazy, because I'm like, wow, small world. We live in the same neighborhood and we go to the same school, and you're obsessed with the same thing as I am. Actually, she didn't go to the same school with me because she was a year before me, so she went to the junior high. I was still in middle school. But anyway, this is the part where like I hate talking about this because I'm so embarrassed. This girl later on ended up being one of my closest friends. I'm gonna call her, I don't even know what to call her. I don't want to like give her a bad name. I'll call her Kirby because she really likes Kirby, at least the last time I checked. Kirby ended up being one of my very closest friends. I don't know if she felt the same way about me, but like I looked up to her so dearly, and she was so influential to me, and I will honestly never forget it, because she was the only person that was able to get me to open up and start to try and be myself. Like, I know I was still trying to figure myself out because most kids are that age, and I did try to like copy her a lot and stuff, but honestly, I don't think I would be the person I am today without Kirby in my life. But anyway, when I first met Kirby, I found out she had a crush on Tootie too, and I was 11, so I was stupidly territorial. I think I like saw Kirby walking up my street or something, like right in front of my house, so I like went into the garage and I got like one of those little hand saws, and keep in mind it was dull, like it couldn't have hurt anybody honestly because it was so fucking old and shitty. But I took this hand saw and I like ran after her up the street, and like honestly I was just halfway joking, but I don't think she realized I was halfway joking. She literally would bring that up all the time. Do you remember that time you chased me up the street with a saw? And I'm just like, yeah. But yeah, I chased her up the street with my saw because she had a crush on the same character as me. Anyway, we ended up talking online more on Zanga, which was before MySpace. I don't know if that fucking dates me or what. Holy shit. So we ended up talking more on Zanga, and we actually became really close. Like, I actually like said, sorry if I freaked you out about the saw thing. I was just being stupid, blah, blah, blah. And we ended up bonding over the gorillas, and actually, like, I wasn't super mad that she liked the same character as me, because we actually, like, ended up giving each other some ideas and stuff like that, and we actually became really fucking close. I don't even know where to begin with the whole Zanga thing. This part has nothing to do with Kirby. Ignore Kirby for a second. So my Zanga, I wasn't really allowed to have one because my parents, once again, I've mentioned it multiple times in videos that my parents were super strict. I'm gonna be talking about my parents a lot in this video, and disclaimer, in case my parents are watching this, I'm not trying to drag you guys. I'm not talking shit about you guys. I'm just saying what happened, and it's really relevant to the story. Sorry if I looks like I'm making you look bad. My parents were really strict, and I wasn't allowed to have a Zanga because I was 11. My social media was honestly really monitored, and I ended up not being allowed to have one because that's when To Catch a Predator was like really everybody was shit. Everybody was like freaking out about To Catch a Predator, and it was my parents didn't want me on the internet, mostly for that reason, because they thought the sexual predators were gonna get me. Ooh. So I had like this stealth account that my brother made me, and the username was fucking phenomenal. It was Texas_01. I've never even been to fucking Texas, first of all. Second of all, I don't even give a shit about dumb old Texas. Third, what the fuck? But I had the upper hand because nobody knew it was me. It was the dumbest shit ever. And I was like super into gorillas, and I was like super obsessed with them, and I would get online, except for Kirby. I would leave her alone because she was my friend. To everybody else that had a crush on Tootie, I would like be such a fucking raging cunt to them. I was that person in the fandom, by the way. I was that cringy person that was just like, no, only me can has. So a lot of people ended up hating me in this fandom. The one day I had this devious idea to make another Zanga secretly, like without my parents knowing, because I planned to deactivate it later anyway. I don't even remember what the fucking username was, but it was like Gorillas 2D or some shit like that, some generic crap, and I still get a kick out of it to this day. Like over fucking 10 years later, I still get a kick out of this. That I basically convinced the entire fandom that I was the real Tootie on this account. And it's funny because like most of this fandom was older than me. I'm not saying they were like my age, like 23 or some crap like that, but I'm just saying 15, 16, you catch my drift, like teenagers. But I was a little fucking 11-year-old, and I was like fucking pulling their leg this whole time, pretending to be be the lead singer of a goddamn British band. And it was so funny because these people were such dicks to me on my Texas01 account, but whenever I got on the 2D account, they were super nice to me. And I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh, they're actually being nice to me now. You'll treat me like shit, but once I get on this account, you guys want to be my friend. Like, I see how it is. It was working for a while until I got really stupid on this 2D account. Like, I don't even know why I did it because it totally blew my cover, but I ended up talking about how in love I was with me. People did a 180. They're just like, oh my god, it's Texas01. They were so pissed when they found out. And I don't even think Kirby knew about that. I don't even think she was paying attention because she had her own friend group I was never really involved in. I tried to become friends with some of her friends, but they didn't really talk to me much. But anyway, so that was that part of that. And the story gets better. I'm like so fucking embarrassed. Oh my god. So my parents didn't really like Kirby because she was really like alternative. I think my parents realized that she was rubbing off on me because I really wanted to be like my friend. She was really, once again, influential to me. Like, she inspired me a lot, and the way she dressed was pretty emo or goth looking, and my parents didn't like that. Part of the reason why they didn't like her was because of our Zanga accounts, because they found out about our Zanga accounts, and like she had written some like edgy emo crap on hers or something, and they found out about it, and they told me I couldn't hang out with Kirby. Me and Kirby kind of had to like sneak around seeing each other. It was really difficult, but we ended up making it work. Like, usually when my mom was at work or something, I'd be like, hey, come over, we can sit in my driveway and we can write stuff. So I wasn't new to fanfics. I've been writing fanfics way before then. I've been writing fanfics since I was in 3rd grade. I'm not even trying to like brag about that or anything, but I actually excelled in writing. Like, aside from art class, writing was my best subject. So I was like pretty decent at writing. Fucking Kirby inspired me to write some fanfics because she was writing some too, and I really liked hers. Like, hers were really good, and they were nice and romantic and juicy and stuff like that. So I ended up writing my own. I'm gonna like put a little backstory here of what was happening in my life. I don't remember why I was going to therapy. I really don't. I'm not trying to say that to cover my ass or anything like that, but I literally don't remember why I was going to therapy. I think I blocked that part of my life out because I really don't know. I'd been going to therapy since I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. That's when I was diagnosed with depression. So I don't know if I was going to therapy so they would monitor the medication I was on, because I was on like Zoloft. So I don't know if I was going to it for that, but I've been to like 5 or 6 different therapists. So I was going to therapy at this time, and I fucking hated it. Like, I hated therapy. She was a fucking cunt. Excuse me for being so vulgar, but I literally hated this therapist so fucking bad. You know, like when you go to a therapist, they're supposed to listen to you and they're supposed to be like super understanding and like sympathizing to you. The last few therapists I went to were actually really awesome about that. Like, they were really nice. But this fucking hag, by the way, she looked like fucking Carrie's mom. She literally looks like her. She was a bitch. I hated her. I hated this therapist. And she knew about my obsession because my mom told her. So she knew about my obsession. She knew how I wanted to like dress all emo and stuff. I remember one time I told her, I like confided into my therapist, and I was like, I really wish my mom would let me paint my nails black, and this therapist was just like, honey, no, don't paint your nails black, because if I painted my nails black and I came to my job, they would be looking at me weird. I'm like, bitch, this isn't fucking about you. And even then, it's just fucking nails. None of your fucking coworkers are gonna give a shit. Honestly, it's black fucking nails. I didn't understand that. That pissed me off. I hated this fucking therapist. She would never be on my side about anything. Therapists are supposed to listen, and I understand that I was 11, and I understand that I don't really make the rules because I'm not an adult. She was not cooperative with me, and I hated her. I hated her fucking guts. Thanks, mom, for taking me to that therapist. She was awful. Like, she should have not been a therapist, especially for children. Honestly, fuck her. But anyway, so backstory, I was going to a therapist, this bitch-ass therapist, and I was writing these fanfics with Kirby on the side. I had this it wasn't explicit. I don't even think it had a cuss word in it. It was just like a romantic, fluffy fic about me and Tootie. Being almost in the 7th grade, we just learned about sex ed in the 5th grade, so I obviously knew what sex was, but I didn't really understand like the full juicy details about it. I just knew that a pee-pee went in. That was babies. When I got into this fic, fucking Kirby was writing like kind of sexual stuff in hers too. Hers was a little bit more detailed, I think, because I obviously didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I basically just wrote somewhere in the fic, wasn't even anything like explicit or dirty or gross. It was literally, we had sex in the fic, and then we had sex. Like, something like that. Something very straight to the point. No details. One day, I needed to look for something. I don't remember what it was, but I couldn't find it, and I was just like, oh, well, maybe it's in my mom's car. So I go look in my mom's car for this thing that I misplaced, and I see something at the bottom of the passenger seat, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? It is my fucking notebook. The notebook with the fanfics in it. My mom read my fucking fanfics! First of all, that pisses me off. This wasn't the first time she'd done something like this. My mom would actually take my diary from me and like hide it from me, and she would read it. The only reason why I knew about it was because I would go into her room and like look for socks or something in her drawer, and I would find my fucking diary in there like every other day, and that always pissed me off. But she was reading my diary, and that honestly fucked up a lot of trust issues for me. So to find my fanfic in her fucking car was I was pissed. I was so fucking pissed. Honestly, I was mortified. I'm like, what did she read? She must have read that part where I wrote about the sex on the page for like a sentence. So I took this fanfic. I don't even know why I didn't burn it or something. I don't know why I didn't shred it. Being stupid, I just threw it into one of those little gutters like on the side of the road, like the sewer, threw it into there. And I was like, well, nobody will find it. Fuck. I go to my therapist a day or two later. My therapist asking me about the fanfic. She says like I'm being obsessive. I need to chill with my obsession. I'm just like, dude, this happened every time I liked something a lot. Every time I really liked something, my parents would get fucking pissed at me. Sorry, I had an obsession. Sorry, I was passionate about something. Sorry, I fucking wrote one sentence about we had sex in a fucking book. I was 11, like what the fuck? I remember this one time, sort of off topic. It was like 5th grade. I wanted to dress up as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service for Halloween, and I made the costume myself, and I honestly thought it was really good for my age. And they would not let me go to the school's Halloween party in that costume because they said nobody would know me, and I ended up not being allowed to go, and I ended up crying, and they punished me for that because I wasn't allowed to wear that fucking costume because they didn't like it, and it was bullshit. So whenever I liked something, my parents would punish me for it because they were so fucking strict and fucking crazy. No offense, but that really fucked me up. I remember that exact day. I remember sitting in the fucking kitchen and crying because I couldn't go to the school's goddamn Halloween party with my friend. Like, that was bullshit. Like, they ended up like taking away a lot of my stuff because I was obsessed with a fucking movie. Like, I was being super harmless about it too. I was 10. But anyway, so they ended up talking to my therapist about it. My therapist knew about this fucking fanfic, and I'm just like, this bitch, this is none of her goddamn business. Like, I didn't show you this fanfic. Like, I didn't willingly show you this. Nobody read this fanfic. It wasn't like I was going around and telling people about this fanfic because I wasn't. Literally, the only person that knew about it was Kirby, and even then, I don't even think I read it to her. I was really pissed that they told my therapist about my fanfiction. The next day or so, I remember my parents telling me to give them all of my gorilla stuff. I wasn't allowed to like the gorillas anymore, so I had to like give everything up, and that really broke my heart, to be honest, that my parents did that to me. I'm not even making this up, you guys. This really actually fucked me up, and I didn't mean for this story to go like super south and emotional. And I remember that day my mom was trying to get me into another band. Hey, have you heard of the Rascal Flatts? I heard they're great, and I'm just like, Mom, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to listen to fucking Rascal Flatts. Like, I want to listen to Gorillaz. They're my favorite band. So maybe like a couple days after all that shit happened with my therapist and my parents taking away my stuff, my neighbors next door come to me while I'm outside. They hold up my notebook that they digged out of the sewer. They like literally had to have like fished it out with something, and it was like all wet and gross, and they're like, hey, is this yours? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They fucking dug my fucking fanfic notebook out of the sewer, and I asked if they read it, and they said no, but they knew it was mine because it like had my name on it because I was fucking stupid. Wanna know what I did with this fucking book at this point? This fucking terrible book that got me in so much trouble. I ended up burying it in the backyard. Like, I literally took a shovel and went out back, dug a hole. Like, it wasn't even that fucking deep. It was like maybe like a foot deep, and I like buried it just enough to where it could decompose naturally, and I think it maybe went back a month later to dig it back up in that same spot, and it was completely disintegrated, and I was like, thank fucking God it's out of its misery. After that, I started to like the Gorillaz less because I knew that it wasn't worth getting in trouble for, which that's kind of sad now that I think about it. Yeah, I didn't really like the Gorillaz that much after that. I mean, like, obviously, like, I still listened to them, but I wasn't like obsessed with the Gorillaz, and I didn't ship myself with 2D anymore. Like, I deleted the fucking dumb 2D account off of Zanga. I actually completely remade my Zanga. Like, I wasn't Texas01 anymore. Like, I made a different profile after that. Yeah. So that's the embarrassing ass fucking story of my first fandom and my mom showing my dirty fanfics to my therapist. You're fucking welcome, because I've never talked about that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry if it got like kind of depressing towards the end, but I don't really know a happier way to describe that story. I do other story times if you're interested. I also do convention vlogging if you're new here. Kirby, if you're watching this video, hi, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I miss you, Kirby, and you were very inspirational to me. I wish we could talk more. Damn. So for my planned next videos, I was actually gonna be able to do an unboxing video for that sponsorship that I was mentioning in my last video. So hopefully I will get that out as soon as I get the thing in the mail. I don't know when that'll be, but it will be sometime before WonderCon. Other than that, I'll see you guys at WonderCon later this month. I plan on bringing Junkrat and some Fallout stuff. Woohoo! We'll see how that goes. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!